welcome to Shift the Narrative, where we take the essence of everything we are facing and shift it. I am your host and fellow freedom fighter, Tyria. For those who are joining us for the first time, welcome. Please subscribe, click favorite, share, and review. Right now, you are listening to Fridays with Ty on Shift the Narrative podcast. Let's join the conversation. Talking today. How was your Thanksgiving? I'm sorry.
It was a little nerve-wracking, but it was really good because as you saw Lala's post,
Yeah.
I don't know if you did or not. So, that was a big step for me, but also a big step for my family. And my kids knowing who I am, how I don't just bring anybody ever around my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that my family is
Everything.
that's treasure. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to take care of your treasure.
Right, that's right.
So, especially learning that from the mistakes I made when I didn't protect them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In my life, in the past, you know what I'm saying? Now, in my relationship with God and really knowing who God is in my life and who I am as a parent, as He healed me and grew me and taught me better, He taught me how to protect my treasures better.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So, and in that, that's why it's important to be open to God, because He can really change you to a better parent. Mm-hmm. And it's never too late to be a better parent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big thing for me to bring, my boyfriend around to meet my kids, because my kids have not seen me with anybody since my ex-husband, and we've been divorced. This November made it 10 years.
Wow.
So there's been nobody around my kids. Now I've been dating, sporadically and stuff like that, but never anybody like, you ain't meet my family. Like, you was not the one. No. Even when, for a moment when you try to think that it is, the Holy Spirit tell you, like, girl, if you don't, you already know what this is. So it's like, no more in my life will I ignore a red flag. You understand what I'm saying? I won't entertain nonsense, and nor will I will infect or poison my family in any way when we're trying to heal from traumas to be better people, so God can show a new way. You know what I mean? And I just feel like it was a perfect season. It was the right season for me to meet the person that I met. And because now I feel like it's a season for when you see the brokenness and everything that I went through, and then I see my daughters go through it in their own way, but in a repeated way, if that makes sense.
On a cycle, right?
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I feel like at the perfect time, after God was like really trying to show me, I explained to you how He really loves me, and for me to how to really love Him and just trust Him and let go and be transparent with Him and everything, and just really know that He just want to love me. He just want to do something good in my life and for me. I deserve it. And people may not realize that you go through stuff, but God wants to give us what we deserve, in good ways, So it's just like when you really let God in and He really loves on you and you love on Him, and then you know how to love yourself, forgive yourself, love on the people, understanding becomes, and then the healing process of who you were into who you can really be starts to take mold and effect. You know what I'm saying? So in doing that, and finally sent the thing to finally find somebody that, you pray for, and to God to honor that and bring it and manifest it in the natural. I just feel like it was that right time, because now that I'm healed in a place and I'm healing every day and I always put it into practice, God sends somebody, it's what I asked for of Him in the spiritual and the natural. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's good that way. So now, now you can see what real love is, and it's so new for me, because not to have that, but I'm really I'm so thankful that I did heal, because it made it easier to receive it.
Of course.
If I was broken, I wouldn't receive it, and every day I would question it, and my old self would have self-sabotaged it. You understand me? Yeah. That's why it's necessary to really let God do what He needs to do in you to be that new creature, because you praying and asking for these things, but you're really not ready to have what you're asking for, because you wouldn't appreciate it, or you wouldn't really recognize it if it came, and you would think that it's counterfeit because you're so broken. You're gonna reject it before it can reject you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're used to.
That's right.
So it's like, so now I feel like in this season in our life that God was like, okay, now you're in this place. I can send this person in the natural to show you what it is in the natural that I give to you in the spiritual. And then and you can appreciate it, love on it, learn from it, grow in it even more. But now you can show your children. So it was okay to present Him to them yesterday, and and my mother included. Me and my
Amen.
mother had our bad faults, but like I remember I told you, the healing had to start with me and her.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
was he broke some things off and he did some things, and it really helped in a lot in that particular way. So by doing that, okay, there was a mending, there's real love, genuine love being shown, there's respect, there's honesty being spoken now, you know what I'm saying, and it's being received. Even when they get an attitude, you know what I'm saying, even if it's an attitude, you still receive it and I let it be, but I know how to step away from it and not allow it to be any more sour relationship with my mother. You
Well,
know what I mean?
you learn to not take it personal.
Yes, exactly. And I also learned that, this is a woman that, although she's my mother, she's broken. And my mother
Yes.
has never dealt with any, when I say any of her traumas from her life. And my thing is like, I'm 49. I was there I'm about to be 50. I was there for 50 years of your trauma.
Right.
So a lot of your trauma, I know you ain't here for because I can recognize it. I
Right.
can recognize what triggers you now. And
Right.
so my thing is like, so now what used to break me or used to hurt me or, feel like was punishment to me, now I understand, I get it. This is a broken woman. She don't know how to handle the love for me or even know how to really give me the love that I ever desired for her to be as a parent because she was a woman who didn't know how to be loved. And then, what I'm saying, and never received it in the natural. And even though she says she's receiving in the spiritual, there's times where she has not fully, my mother has yet to fully surrender to God so he can do a full healing in her, a total and complete thing, you know what I mean? And really, but she also hasn't let go so he can trust him enough. She's not
Yeah.
at that place yet.
I was about to
But
say
I feel like
she
he's
doesn't know
using,
how.
yeah, to show her. So here it is. I'm gonna show it through your daughter in the natural. So because he meant that and he's doing that and she's seeing that and she's
Mm-hmm.
hearing that from me, is doing something with me and her, which is doing something with our daughters. So now I understand what it is to protect my treasures, pray for my treasures, but I also gotta be that example. Somebody in the family gotta take the lead
That's,
even we don't want to. And it's not always the matriarch of the family that takes the
right.
lead.
That's right.
Everybody just think because you're the matriarch, they take the lead. We take on that role. The grandmas and the great grandmas and the big mamas and all of them. We followed them because we made them the matriarchs because it was there. But it's actually you the grandmother, you the head, or you the person of the family. You're still alive. God bless you. But it's that one that's walking in the fullness of God is the one that we need to to be an imitation of is what we really learn from because you're not just getting the natural, you're getting the spiritual, you're getting the whole full effect, the whole trifecta of it when they're in that particular place. So it's that's why, and an awakening of me being a grandma of 13 also, those are my treasures.
Yes.
I'm not just bringing anybody around my family.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Well, I said the curse is broken, it's
Yeah.
rebuked. So nobody else come in here and prey on the family. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to be the big bad wolf to prey on us and we get to accept any old thing. And you're like, no, no, no. Mediocrity, no more in men. Absolutely not.
Right. But do you also see that when you let go of um, certain connections?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Freedom.
Freedom.
Yes, it's a real freedom. You know what I mean? And it's just like, Fantasia has a song that everybody loves it. Go ahead and free yourself. Everybody loves that song and they're gonna continue to love it. It's a nice song.
Mhm.
But when I look at it, I don't look at it like that. I look at it like free myself. Let me, you don't want to talk to me. Let me free myself
Oh,
from this.
yeah.
Let me sever the ties. God, break every soul tie.
That's right.
Do something. I don't want it no more. Like let me free myself from this. But why would I want to be entangled to you? No, you don't want to free yourself. Let me free myself because I'm the one that's really in bondage here.
That's right.
Because you're poisoning me with the back and forth, and I'm accepting it. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm making it okay. I'm making it, or I'm not making you accountable for it. I'm complaining at you. I'm hollering at you, but I'm taking it.
Right.
Let me go free myself from this buffoonery. That's the way I look at the song. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah. So and it's when you get to that place of freedom, and you get to that place of freedom, in your emotions, and your mindset, and your
Mhm.
spirit,
Mhm.
and those that trifecta come together. Woo wee, sis.
Isn't it a good feeling?
You know what I'm saying? It's a great feeling, and then you
Yeah.
get to enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? And then, but not only do you enjoy it, you appreciate it, you
Mhm.
respect it, you are thankful for the ride. Now, the journey is a new journey, and I'm thankful for that journey because, you know, and the craziest thing is, God sent him when I was at a really low place in my life,
Mm.
and that's the best part about it because, um, I kept thinking he's supposed to come looking like when I finally got myself together, everything is going good. I'm in a good place. I'm at this place level of success as well as, in my life and da 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 da. Because at this particular, I'm like, no, because I could, I used to always tell myself, no decent man or no good man or no da 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 da. The right person's not going to want me because I'm not fully put together. But that used to be my old perception and my mindset because I had to think for the whole perfection. I had the whole thing that I had to do it the right way to make it look right. In order for my kids to see what it was, I had to have the success and love together.
Right.
Not realizing, no, God love us in our low places, honey. You know what I mean? He find us in our low places, and you know what I mean. And then but he also sent people there for a reason. And everybody just don't think that that's necessarily true. They think that it has to be, oh no, this level with this level. That's the only way it works, And you believe that because the world also make it seem like that. You know what I'm saying? It people are only with it people. These people only match like this. So you start to believe that stuff. But when you a person that's fully in God and you ask God for something and you truly trust God for it and he finally you recognize it, you know it. You know what I'm saying? At first it's a little first I was a little shook.
Right.
Like first I was like, whoa, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? Right. What is going on? You know what I'm saying? But then after a while, I was just like, God know how he got to talk to me. And and I know it's nobody but God, you know what I'm saying? Because of connection. So that's why I'm just like, I laugh like, yo, you really funny. Like when I said what I said, and I said I was specific about things, I was messing or let you know, yes, I heard you. Like I down to the specifics of what, you know what I'm saying? And I love that part because that really shows you when you really fall in tune with God. You know what I mean? And then you learn to really trust him and you stop doing it of yourself and you no longer ignore the red flags and the hurt, you know what I'm saying? And try to make things that are broken, put together when you know it don't belong together, and trying to make it the man that that you may have had a child with your husband when he's not meant to be your husband. You know what I mean? Just different things, all those different things in your life, your different hurts, whatever type of different situations you went through and whatever your relationships. And then you also grow in that. So you heal and stuff. When my family guys did that, he was healing me when it came to for past relationships and preparation and even showing me some things I needed to go through to get to this relationship. You know what I mean? That was necessary. And so I'm just like, okay, now I could bring you around my family.
Right.
Saying, but God had to show me first to because I had to be sure. Because listen, like I said, those are my treasures. That's my first ministry, and my first ministry, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna love them. You know what I mean? Until we all married off or whatever. We the church for each other. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna let nobody come in there and destroy the church. Not no more. I did it too much. Matter of fact, sometimes I was the one destroying the church. It wasn't the people. It was me.
Right.
So it's it's an important treasure to me. So it's to do that, and then I was fine. I was confident, and then now remember I have 13 grandchildren.
Right, they were all there.
Only 10. My one daughter with the 3 in Texas.
Oh
so,
yes.
There. So it was there. So I'm upstairs. I'm getting myself ready because he was on his way. And then here they go. Oh, I hear Mima. Yes, your boyfriend's here. Mima, your boyfriend's here. Just every time a little kid runs to, then here come down to the 2-year-old. He was like, Mima. I was like, what? He said, your boyfriend's here. And me and my grandson, my oldest grandson was 16, because he had to put the tough roll on because he was the family technically. So he was just about to be like, now my Mima, I'm not even smiling, but we was laughing about him like it's so funny. Like y'all got the baby saying it, y'all ridiculous because my family's never seen it. My grandkids have never seen me with anyone. My grandson is 16. All he's ever seen was my ex-husband. Those that that were there for the marriage, those that were never there for that, they've never seen me with anyone.
Right.
So it was so like I said, it was like, okay, it was different for my daughters. It's 10 years for them. My grandkids, whatever year of their life they're in, is different for them. You understand? So, it was really, really funny. I thank God it went well.
Good.
Even down to my mama, because I was just like, "Who Jesus?" I was just going to pray. Because she could be a bit much.
Right. Well, thank God they accepted.
Yeah, but they, and they grilled him in a nice way, a loving way, but at the same time, not my mama, what I mean? Way, my mother, nice way, loving way, question way, but not my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like mine says, even to my grandson, yo, I watched how he shook his hand. When he shook his hand so hard, like he the man. Like
Aw.
I'm just like, to know that your family loves you that much and protects you, you know what I mean? Because they know what I've been through. They know my story. And they don't know, like my mom knows bits and pieces of my story. Because we share some similar stories. Because
Right. Of course.
my kids, we have family stories as well as individual stories. Each of us together, like me and one of them, or just all of us together. We all have our stories, and they've seen what I've been through from the era, from their time of ages in their life to now. So to see that, and then your grandkids to know, it was just like I wasn't upset about none of their question or how they did anything. I really appreciated the love from them,
Yeah.
because the same way I felt about them being treasures and to protect them is the same way they felt about me.
Man,
And
they feel
sometimes
that.
you don't think, yeah, they was look like my mom is a treasure, my daughter's a treasure, my mom is a treasure. And sometimes you don't really think that your family loves you or gets you. But when you could just take a moment to step back and look at God just doing his being God, it was really nice to see my family be like that. And it was just like, it was just a fun vibe all the way through. No arguing, no fussing, no nothing. Even the kids being down to the kids being calm. It was very nice,
Yeah.
they watched the game, we did karaoke, all this different kind of stuff. So like, and he blended in well with that. We told jokes, we played that game culture tag. So all the different
Nice.
kind of stuff we did together. And he was like, my kid's like, okay, you fit in. My mom was like, okay, he got in with everything now. So they all saw it, and he even vibed well with the grandchildren. Nobody was standoffish or weird or looking at him like he stranger danger.
Right. Right. That's good. Yeah.
So that was a good thing. So I was just like, like I said, it's just like it was just comfortable to see and to do. But it's like when God tell you to step out of your comfort, he don't be playing. Sometimes he be like, okay, I'm gonna just give you a little nudge and make
Right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they recognize, even in a sad moment in your life, it doesn't necessarily mean that God won't still move and do things for you, because you just think because of what position you are in life at the moment. It's just a moment, but it's definitely a transition, and transition is necessary for your life, and we go through all different levels of transition. It's just that, but when you got God in the transition,
Yeah. But we have to realize too, with each transition, there is a bit of grief.
Yes, it
Because
is.
you're leaving this one position and going to another, or you're leaving this one level and going to another. So some things have to fall off. Some things can't come with you. You know what I mean? Even inside of yourself, you just can't be that way anymore. You can't act that way. You can't do those things anymore. And there's a grief that comes with that.
But it's also a celebration that comes with it. Because even though it's like one of those Mardi Gras type of funerals, we sad to see you go, but God be the glory, you gone. You know what I mean? Like it's like to a better place. Like you're away from me, you separated from me. I'm celebrating that I'm free from that thing. I'm no longer connected. So I get to okay, I have to change some things gotta die. So it might hurt for a quick second because I'm used to it, but I'm gonna celebrate that I'm no longer in it. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean in that particular way. So you get to grieve it for a moment. You understand? Just a moment. Don't stay stuck in the grief that is gone and you can't do it no more. A moment of grief, but a month time of celebration. You understand? Right. Celebrate daily. Celebrate daily, because as you celebrate daily, you remember not to go back to it. You remember not to accept it anymore. You remember not to reconnect to it. You recognize it quickly, and you be like, oh, I know what that red flag is. I know what that stench is. I know what that succubus is. Oh no, you know what I'm saying? I know what that little, that little trick, like it looked like a hole, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna cover it up so you don't know that it's a hole, so you can fall in the type of traps. No, I see a hole. Something's lifted. I can see something. I can feel the wind blowing from something. There's a hole. I'm gonna go around it. You know what I'm saying? Or how about I just go the other direction and just be completely nowhere near it? But even so, when you really in tune with God, he even make you aware of the setup.
Yeah.
Before you used to be like, what me, God? Sometimes there's a setup. You know what I'm saying? But when you alert to the setup, you can remember I said, slay was slaying you. You can counterattack the attack. And that's what it is. So that's what it is. That's why when he make you aware of the setup, you don't get stuck in the emotion, you don't get stuck in the grief, but you get to that place of celebrating, but you celebrate daily and you continue to fight daily because you don't want to go back to that. You already know because you already know, yes. And then my thing is you celebrate and then you got to get ready because you know this next transition is going to be a higher level of some things.
It's true. There's going to be things you still have to fight.
Yeah. So
Emotions,
it's a
feelings,
daily fight.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's why being a Christian is like, oh, I got saved, in 1979, and that's it. No, this is a daily salvation. This is a daily practice. Being that person, walking in that thing, walking in salvation, walking in Christianity, walking in relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then if you was a person that was all you ever knew was religion, you know what I'm saying, and you didn't have no relationship, you ain't walked in nothing really. You just walked in law.
You
But
walked in habit.
you walked in law, but you ain't walking love.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
walked in
difference.
habit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So because you didn't walk in love, you was judgmental, you was nasty, you ain't had no mercy, you ain't had no hospitality, you don't got no servitude, you don't got a servant mindset. You got I've been here for such and such, and so this is my type of pew. You got that privilege mindset, but you can say because you caught up in that law and you think, I've been doing this since da 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 da. Nah, but you ain't got no relationship, you stink.
Yeah.
Attitude stink.
Yeah,
you don't have no love for the people that come in. You don't got no mercy, and you ain't showing no grace to nobody else like that God show you every day. That you was able to still say that you even say that you've been in the church for all these years. You know what I'm saying? Like that takes grace from God, because He probably done sent you many signs, but you were so blinded by it. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens is He'll set you up with somebody that's gonna come up and tell you the truth, tell it to you raw, but they're gonna tell it to you in love. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll be like, ooh. Because everybody at every age needs awakening, but you also need to get caught up in the transition. You gotta put it into practice, and that's what it is. When you go through anything you do, anything you surpass, you still got to put into practice every day. The work that God wants us to do. Love daily, show mercy daily, show grace daily.
Yeah.
Renew your mind daily. Don't go back to that broken place, to that poison place, to that defeated place, to that, that dark place. Because it's hard sometimes, especially when when life hits hard.
Right.
You ever see somebody get a really good gut punch that they just go over and go, oof,
yeah.
and they fall over? Ooh, now them life kind of punches right there. Sometimes you don't think you want to get up from because it bent you over so bad. You know what I'm saying? You were so broken.
It hurt so bad.
It hurts so bad. And you're like, I don't want to get up because I don't think I can survive another punch like that.
Right.
But guess what? You do.
But that's the part right there, is that I don't think I can take another punch.
Yeah.
I don't think I can take another upset, another mistake, another death, another loss. You know what I mean? I don't think I can take another one of those. And I don't want to set myself up I don't want to prepare myself for another. I just want to stay here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I can't do anything more but to stay here because I'm hurt so bad.
Right. And then to stay in God, to stay in that place with Him. I'm telling you, He will peel stuff off of you that you didn't even recognize was still inside of you. He will show you things that, because, and if for me, He showed me things that triggered me. And I didn't even know that that's what it was.
Right.
Because I thought I was over it. And the things that used to trigger me wasn't trigger anymore. It was other things that was another trigger, but I didn't even never recognize it. Right. And then when He showed it to me, I was like, oh my God. That's crazy. I was, thank you, God, because I sometimes I would feel like a little something rise up in me from, and I was like, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep feeling like that? And then that's when God was like, I swear I heard it clear as day. He's like, this triggered you.
Right.
I said, what the?
Sis, it just,
light bulb.
It just happened to me for Thanksgiving holiday. I'm excited to come to my mom's, you know what I mean? Because it's family time. And I'm sitting on my couch and all of a sudden I just feel this overwhelming, low, and I'm like, oh, whoa, where'd that come from? I'm excited, and all of a sudden I'm not. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I had to be like, that triggered me. You know what I mean? That triggered me to try to bring me back to how I used to be, to make me want to isolate myself and be standoffish and all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
That's exactly what I was doing, sis. That's what I was exactly what I started. And I had to say, wait a minute now. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. We don't do that. We came out from that. No more. We don't live in the land of dry bones no more. Don't you dare go back there.
Don't you go back.
Yeah. No. That's a trigger.
Yes.
And then as soon as that's when I recognized when God showed me what it was, I said, okay, God, heal that. I
Yes.
sure did.
Yes.
That was my next word. I ain't saying, okay, I ain't say what am I gonna do about this? How am I gonna fix that? I said, okay, God, heal that. That's
Yes.
what I said. Now you showed it to me. I
Right.
recognize it. I'm coming in agreement with you. Heal that.
Yes.
You
Yes. And
understand what
right.
I'm saying? And that's how it works. And when you do that, and the quicker you recognize it, the quicker God does it. And the quicker as you can really recognize the love of God and how much he really does love you, because he's bringing these things back to your remembrance, not to hurt you, but
Right.
this time he's really going through it with you because you allow him to go with you. And so sometimes you got to go back and he got to show you some things that you didn't recognize was, like I said, are still there, or because of this particular situation.
Right.
So he's just going back so he can heal you, but
Yeah.
he going back with you. He taking you back
Mm.
just to heal you. And sometimes people think, oh, well, you going back because you know why, right? Because you know what you did, right? You know you didn't
Mm-hmm.
honor people make you feel like like he's trying to punish you
Punish you. Yeah.
because of the things that you've done. You know what I mean? And God don't work like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't work like that, And I don't understand why y'all say that to people. Like, why do you make somebody feel like God is punishing them? And in reality, all you really try to do is heal them and love them through it and let them know that I was there. And every time I try to reach out, you wasn't listening or you missed the opportunity. But I want to show you how long I've been here for you. You understand? So
Right.
sometimes he take you back to that particular trauma to let you know I was there.
Right.
This could have really happened if I wasn't there to block it.
Right.
But because I was there, this only happened. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
So
when
you're
you see
saying,
it in God,
I
it's
see.
different. And then when he take you back, then he show you, God been here with you since this, but you didn't
Right.
recognize it then.
So what I hear you saying is you're saying that there's those triggers that, okay, so for my situation, what memory was brought back to me was just to show me, okay, Terry, you need to heal that part. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't as you remembered it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you really thought it was. You know what I mean? So let me show you that I was there with you.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? But you weren't ready to see it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
now you're ready to see it. So now you're ready to heal from it.
That's exactly it. And that's what it is. And that's what, if we explain that to people better, I think people will be less afraid to serve God. I think people will be less afraid to go back and reckon, and then they would have a better understanding why, you know what I'm saying, why it's happening. I would, people will be less to give up so quickly. You understand what I'm saying? Because they just think it's just a hard journey and I just got to go back. So no, I want to show you where my mercy was here. You understand? I want to show you my graces. I want to show you that I blocked.
Right.
You understand? I had my army stand there because if my army wasn't there, and if I wasn't in, if I didn't love you enough, this is what could have really happened.
Yeah. Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
I do, but that comes down to effective communication.
Yeah.
Effectively communicating with people.
Yeah.
And understanding how you need to communicate with them.
But that's the first thing God is looking for with us, effective communication. And that's what it is. If we would listen to him and really communicate with God and really realize that God is not that simple. You understand? He's not that hard. He's very simplistic.
Yeah.
And he's just, he loves us. He wants to show us love. He wants to prepare us and he wants us to be greater. He wants us to be who we're supposed to be in him and in the land. You understand what I'm saying? But it's because of this flesh. You know what I'm saying? This flesh, it gets in the way, the temptations. But my thing is he puts everything in the Bible when we really read it, not to hurt us or not to say this law, so you can't. The word temptations in it because I want to let you know that temptation is gonna come.
Right, that happens.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not just saying, and I'm not telling you. I'm telling you to resist it because I know it's not something from me. Right. Because something it's going to come tempt you. It happened to begin. I told you the first story. I told you the first story of temptation and what happened, of what it could have been, and what happens when you don't resist the temptation. You understand?
So you're talking
but he also showed his grace in it.
Right. So you're talking about Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Right. And then the flip side is when he came and he was tempted. So he showed you two sides of the coin. Yeah.
Yeah. So temptations will come. We just got to resist them. So that's what he was telling us. He was telling us to protect us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But so my things, he didn't put it in order. So you just saying like, I can't resist temptation, or oh my God, well, I just was weak. Like he's trying to say, I need you to resist it because even in your weakness, if you can admit it, you know what I'm saying? Okay, God, I can do something with that.
I can work with that.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to deny this, make it like it's my fault, then you're going to have to eat that. You know what I'm saying?
honey, because that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right
That's
now.
it. You
And when
know,
you
so
said that, I thought about, because on the way here we stopped at McDonald's, and the lady put my, they're not like reaching their hand out all, further enough. So I go to grab the change, and the way she put the coins, it felt like she didn't even let me put my hand out
she
before
just
she
dropped
released.
it. Uh-huh.
And then she goes, "You dropped your 11 cent." No, I did not. You dropped it. Like, let's call a spade a spade. You
That's
did
it.
it. Just say, "Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. I
Yes,
dropped that
I'm
11
sorry.
cent. I'm sorry." Right. God, I acknowledge my part in this. My bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Help. Help me not to do it anymore. That's effective communication. That's when
Yeah.
God says, "Okay, I can
Exactly.
work with that,"
Exactly.
because you
Yeah.
acknowledge your part in it. You acknowledge what you did. You
Yeah.
acknowledge that you didn't hear my still small voice. You acknowledge that you didn't see
Exactly.
that red flag. You acknowledge that you made a mistake.
That's
Or not
it.
even a mistake. You acknowledge that the wrong hurt you. You know what I mean? That
Yes.
grief is
Exactly.
overtaking you. That this situation is so overwhelming you don't know what to do. You spoke your truth.
That's it. And that's exactly it. And it's just like, and just like, when he talk about, we go out there, we know God, we have it good. And but then at the same time we want a taste of the world. So it's
Yes.
just like, let me get my stuff now. Let me get my inheritance. Let me get my stuff now. And then you go out
Mm.
there and you blow it and you waste it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? On the wrong people, on the wrong things. That's you out there eating slop. You
Right.
want for me filet mignon to eating dog food out of a can. That's what I'm saying. That's your reality because now you broke. You ain't got nothing. And then you go back to think, man, you know what? Even if I go work at my daddy's company, yeah, okay, and I could work for him. I don't gotta be this. This is because I'm his son or I'm his daughter. You know what I'm saying? Let me just go see if I'll go clean the toilets at the in the buildings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let
Right.
me go. And
Right.
then you
Because even
return
his
home
servants
and
are treated better than this.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Exactly, because I know how good my dad treats his employees.
Right.
This is the reality. This is what people go through in life. This is what you think in your mindset. But at the same time, this is what God already said in the Word. This
Right.
is gonna happen. He was letting us know that people are gonna walk. We're gonna stray away because the world seems better. It looks
Mm.
tempting. It looks good. You know what I'm saying? But then you come home and he celebrates you. He embraces you. He loves you because you recognize this thing, and he's the fact that you're still alive. That's
Yes.
the celebration right there.
And that's the
Now,
best part
now
about it.
let the
Still
healing
here.
begin so the true
Yes.
living can begin. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Let the healing begin so the true living can begin. Because you throw a baby, because you throw it out there when the world was living. Ain't nothing living like when you living under God and you living for God, when the trust in God and Him living in your life, and you know what I'm saying, and you allowing Him to do what He's supposed to do and take the lead in your life, and you just following lead and being obedient in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like it. And
Yeah.
just being freed and healed and like letting Him heal you without always being a tug of war. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
The fight.
Stop fighting yourself. Recognize and realize you are smart. You are a speaker. You are just like putting your life on hold out of a fear. You're allowing the fear to listen. I didn't give you that.
Mm.
He said it. I didn't give you the spirit of fear. What you
That's
afraid
right.
of?
Yeah.
He said I gave you a
Yeah.
love and a
Power.
sound mind.
Sound mind.
A
Yeah.
sound mind. So whoever put that seed in your head, that ain't me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? A sound mind. I would never make you
Yeah.
afraid. Only thing you're supposed to fear is me. So if I ain't in there, what you afraid of?
Mm.
Who told you you can't do it?
Mm-hmm.
Who told you that you ain't smart enough to do it? Who
Mm-hmm.
told you that you wasn't gonna make it? Like I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm of love, and I gave you a spirit of love. So why would I tell you? Why would I make you afraid?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I make you believe that you a failure?
Right.
That ain't love. That
Right.
ain't me.
Right.
So if I gave you a sound mind, we should immediately know when it's negative and when it's wrong and it's trying to demean us or bring us down or try to grab, anchor us down in a hole or in a dark place. That ain't God.
Right.
That ain't how God do us. He would never do us that way.
Right.
It's when we go back to those traumatic moments in our life and you cry for a second, but then you feel something. You know what I'm saying? He's showing you something and you don't feel that same hurt. You might hurt for a second because you caught up in it, or you might get angry for a second because you see it. Then you be like, that's not why we're here. Let me show you something you missed. Because
Right.
now I need you to be open to what I'm about to show you. And then when you see it, you be like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
if
then
we,
like you
Mhm. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just about to say, but if we can't hear that quickly, if we're not open to what God's about to do, for us quickly, then
Yeah,
sometimes we have to go through those situations
yeah,
that make it take a little bit longer.
yeah, yeah. That's very,
You
very
know,
true.
because
But
God's
that's
like,
but as you get but as you press more into him, it becomes more clear. Becomes clearer
yes,
and clearer and clearer and clearer. The more you press, the more you trust. That's what submission and surrender is. He ain't saying, "Oh, just give me your life because I want to be in control. I want to save you. I want to protect you. I want to heal you. I want to pour knowledge on you and wisdom on you. I want to love on you."
want the
This is what
best for
that's what
you.
he wants to surrender for.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I want to put you in the better places. You know what I'm saying. I want you to be in those high places. And me spiritually, I want you to be that warrior, that preacher, that teacher, that healer. I want you to do the greater works. You know what I'm saying? That I did when I was walking the land. Like this is what it's about. That's the only reason why he wants us to surrender submission,
mm-hmm.
not because he wants to control us. If he wanted to control us, he wouldn't have gave us free will. Duh. Like, come on. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Because people just want to come to you. He just want to be in control. Why you gotta, that's stupid. He gave us free will.
Right.
He didn't have to. Like we could have just been puppets here on earth. That don't make sense. Come on, you got to come with better than that. You got to be quicker than that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that don't make sense to me. Like if you gonna say something smart. Cause that ain't it.
It's
I'm
true.
just saying, like, did you read the whole Bible or you only picked out what you want to argue about? Because I'm not finna do that with you.
Oh, well, they just remember, you know what it is? Because that comes down to not studying your word. That comes down to when you hear a scripture, you hear something, not taking the time to read what the context of it,
Yeah,
the chapter before, the chapter after. You know what I mean? You can't just look
yeah.
at a blurb and be like, oh, this is exactly what it's saying. You don't know that just from that little bit. You got to
And my
actually
thing is, there's a
investigate.
difference in then studying the Bible and reading the Bible. They're
Yeah.
two different times. You don't do them at the same time. Studying is to gain the knowledge of something.
Mm-hmm.
Reading is to get the intimacy and the understanding of something. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what it is. Because when I'm reading it, I'm putting myself in it. So as I'm reading and I'm making it personal, I get a better understanding of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, when I'm studying it and I'm getting like the word of what it means and what's it behind, like the history and stuff like that, and how God can use it in today's type of form. You understand what I'm saying? But this right here, when I read it, I really get an understanding because it becomes personal. And then I'm like, oh my God, this is what she was doing for me. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
Right.
So for me,
For
that's
you.
how I
Okay,
do it.
yes,
So
yeah, for you.
when I read, I make it personal.
Right.
I put my name in there. And the book of Esther, it's the book of Andrea. Okay, listen, don't play in certain parts for me. Because and it's one of my favorite stories in the book, in the Bible. So, but it's that one, and the one that I really love too is oh my God, Hagar. No, Rahab. I'm sorry, Rahab.
Okay.
Rahab. I'm sorry, Rahab is. I love her. Mm-hmm. and and when I said it, people were like, what? She was a harlot. Okay. She did what she had to do to take her family. Like you gotta think about her story. You know what I'm saying? Like when you read it and and I'm not saying like being a harlot, but people hustle. A woman who hustles. She was a woman who was out there doing this, and she said she had a house full of people. Right. Now my thing is, and that's how your family don't want to deal with you. You don't really live with your family.
Right.
You a harlot, they disown you. They only bother with you. So a lot of them babies, it wasn't no protection. She had a whole bunch of illegitimate kids up in there. Okay, let's be honest about this thing. Okay, she was a single mom doing what she had to do, taking care of whoever she took care of. It might have been people that however it was, adopted into families. However, but she had a family that she had to take care of. She did what she had to do, but at the same time, she recognized and realized this ain't all for me. I want more for this. I need to be in a better place. At a certain time, she woke up.
When the opportunity presented itself, because when they came to her, she was open, like you said, open to it.
Yes.
Like, wait, hold on. Yes. Is this what I was asking for?
Yeah. Right. But isn't that also, but see, people make you think that because you're a nobody, God won't, he don't love you and he can't do something for you, or you're at a low place in your life that he can't do nothing. And that's why I love her story. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And then when she met the men of God, she was like, you just listen, I'll take care of you, but y'all gotta promise me something. Right. Listen, like it's like, protect this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even when it wasn't the best, she still wanted to protect her treasures.
That's
You know,
right.
we protect our treasures any way we know how, but she just knew there was something better that they served.
Right.
She didn't fully know, but she knew, and she was just like, I want what they got.
Right.
So my thing is, I'll help y'all out if y'all give me what y'all got and protect us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and that was people don't understand.
Right.
You know, that's a real thing when you finally
she
wake
was
up and
taking
recognize you see God.
yeah, because
Yeah,
she was taking an opportunity to risk her life, to risk
yeah.
it
The
all.
life of her husband, because you know they're gonna kill her and the whole family.
The whole
You know
family.
what I mean? So you know she really risked her life for them, but she saw something in it, and I, you know, in my Holy Ghost imagination, because I love her character, I really feel like God had a conversation with her.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said when you
Oh,
said it, like, this is what I was just talking to you about. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
sometimes we like you said, we make God so difficult. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We make praying to God so difficult when really it's a conversation. Like, I was
that's
just
it.
talking about that with you last night. You know what I mean? Even if you
And then
don't
here it
know,
goes.
right?
Yeah. And then when you alert to it, because like now you're in a place because you're hungry for something different.
Yeah.
You tired of the same old, you know, like, and when people do, you know, people look at your life and they think they know your life and they know your story when all they know is your name, you know what I mean? But you don't
Mhm.
know my story. You know my name, but you don't know my story, you know, but they look at my life and they make up my story,
Right.
you know, and I feel like what better way for you to learn my story by not let me tell it.
Right. Let me
You
tell
want to
it.
know my story? Ask me, I'll tell it. I'm
Mm.
not ashamed of it. You know, I used to be, but because what God has brought me from, when I saw God and I went to chase after that, and I saw something better than that. Look at Rahab. She became the mother of Boaz.
Right.
She
Right.
got married. She married one of the men, like, you know, as you read her story,
Mm-hmm.
who protected. You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, you don't know what God will do. You don't know what God will do. You don't know what God could produce through you. Don't never think that you're not enough. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And you know, no, even when we do things in our life and we go through things in our life, sometimes when you don't know no other way, you hustle any kind of way you can. You
Mm-hmm.
grind any kind of way you can. You come, you know, you might, especially if you're a person that come from the streets and you really come from nothing, you
Right.
know, you can still build up to be something. The world don't get to lie to us and say that we can't have real love. We don't, you know, we've been hurt so many times it'll never come.
Right.
No, that's the bitterness in us. That's the brokenness in us.
Mhm.
And that's why I say it's important. We got to be better and not bitter. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because then we miss out on what God really wants to do for us. He want not only want to give it to us spiritually, he wants to give it to us naturally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, I may not get the full perks of it, but he still want to give me a little taste of it while I'm here on earth. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You
Right.
know, you know, and that's the blessing of it. Even if you know I don't get it all, but I get a taste of it, my family gets to reap the rest of it. That's a blessing to me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Well, I
It
mean, it
opens up the doors
says,
for me way.
right, it says in the world that the thing, not in the world, it says in the Bible that the things that we pray for, we may not see them.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah, we may
That's
not
very
see
true.
them. Or
That is
I
very,
know the
very true.
plans I have for you, saith the Lord. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whatever's attached to us.
Yeah. But people have to walk in that and be okay with that as well. You
Yeah.
know, I want to see it all. Well, you don't deserve it all. You know, some people it's
You
not that,
can't handle it all.
but then you can't handle it. But then you have those that, you know, or everything it wasn't meant for you to see. It was being stored up for your generations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just going through it. The bloodline is new now. You know,
Yeah.
because the curses are broken. You know,
Uh,
the generation curses are broken. So now, even if you don't get to see it all, and even if you get the taste of it, to God be the glory. You know what I mean? Or to God be the glory. I was able to break the curse, so now we can move on to a better for the
yeah.
rest of the family, and they continue to process. And I can pray that can be a continuation, because now you're praying different prayers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You praying up the things for your legacy, for your family. You storing things up financially, but you storing things up spiritually. God, let you always walk through our family. Let you always be the head of our bloodline. Let you always be our protector, our server, our father. You know, our healer, our provider. Let you be who we always believe in, and who we
Mm-hmm.
always serve and trust, and who we have a relationship with. That's what I pray for my family bloodline now. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? It's different when you take care of your treasures and you see it for what it really is. You don't just do things differently. You pray differently,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you want it to be in a continuation. You don't want it to happen here and then stop at, you know, my last granddaughter that I have right now. No, I want it to continue after them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. Like until there is no more. You know what I mean? Like, listen, until there is no more world. Like, I want that. That's how I want my bloodline to continue. I
Yeah.
want
Well,
God to do it differently now.
yeah, you got to think about it in this way. Like, I'm so blessed that 2, 3 generations from now are still blessed because of my
Exactly.
prayers. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And then you
Yes.
instill that into the next generation, and they're going to 2, 3 generations past them. Like, you know what I mean? It, like you said, it's the words that you speak.
Yeah, it is. You speak, we speak. That's what it said. He's the word says that we have the power of life and death in our tongue, and a
Yes.
lot of times we speak death over a lot of stuff. We pray about something, and then we talk negatively about it, and we can't stop what we pray for. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or we speak death on what we say we believe in. Like you just spoke death over it. It ain't gonna come to life now. And then you try to figure out, well, why it ain't coming? Because you spoke death onto it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we really have the power of life and death in our tongue. God is not playing. He's not just talking about how, oh, I'm not saying like you say to somebody die and they just fall.
No, I
That's not what he's
understand.
talking about. He's
Yeah.
talking about you either gonna speak life into your own life or you're gonna speak death into it. You're gonna speak life into the life of other people, you're gonna speak death into it. Which one are you choosing? Because we can do it, we can go either way here.
Yeah.
And you have to know that when you know when you speak in death, you know when you
Right.
mean, you
Right.
know when you
No,
nasty.
yeah.
I don't care what you say, you know you nasty. But you sit there and fake it like you're not nasty. You know how you know you're nasty? Because we look around you. Ain't nobody around you. Nasty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you broke it. You
Yeah.
still carrying it around. So my thing is like sometimes God will have you love on the nastiest people, boy. I tell you. You be like, what is going on, Jesus? Am I being funked?
Right. Right.
But it's just like, but then after you do it, and then it's like after you do it, and then you see what God was doing for you, for that person with you by using you as a vessel, then you be like, I understood the assignment. You get it? Like, that's not about me. It was about
It
their
was about
freedom.
that. Right. Right.
It's about their freedom. It was about their liberation. It was about their growth. It was about their life. It's about them, life, showing them like through your nastiness. Like, listen, I love you through. I'm
Right.
gonna love you through this nastiness
That's
because
right.
God gonna get in there.
That's right.
But my thing is, he had to get somebody that was gangster holy.
Right. Right.
Which,
That could, right.
you know
That
what I'm
had,
saying?
that had
Sometimes,
quote unquote thick skin. You know what I mean?
yes,
That could
yes.
bear a lot of weight, or,
Mm-hmm.
what he knew, because he trusts you.
Yes, he know that's it right there. He
Yes.
trusts me. He trusts you enough. He trusts me enough to
Yes.
deliver certain messages to certain people. He's saying, I could trust you with this nasty
Right.
person.
Because I know
Now I
how,
can't trust her because I
yeah,
think the other one, she might lay hands on her. But you, even though if you feel like it, you ain't gonna do it. I
yes.
trust you
Right.
to
Because
love her
I
through her
trust you.
nastiness. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And then you like, oh my God, why this lady always want to talk to me? She's so nasty, she's so mean, and then he break it down and he's like, oh God, why I gotta keep being nice to this nasty lady?
Right.
Why would you let me tell her off? That's not fair. Every time I get ready to say something, you tell me shut up. That ain't right. Like she nasty. Like, and God be like, stop complaining. Like, just
Yes.
do what I'm telling you to do.
Yes.
You know,
Because
pray for her.
because
Love
either
her.
way, right? Because either way, you're gonna show God's love to them, and they're either going to accept the love or they're not going to accept the love, and then it's gonna be on them.
Yeah.
And that's
They
what I
start to get
said.
convicted. And
Yeah.
then what happens is he starts to use you in a way that you don't even recognize, and they looking at you.
Right.
They watching you, you know what I'm saying? But as they're watching you and they're looking at you, not because you didn't just show them love, he put another nasty person in your path that they get to see a seat of you being good to them. And they be like, wow, she really is genuine. Like that really is her. Even because she be like, oh my God, now she nasty, but she knows somebody who nastier than her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if she's seeing how you're the same way with her that I was with you.
Right.
So then my thing is like, then it makes you come back and then it changes something. And that's what I love. So then, and when you see that, you're like, okay, God, now I get why you connect these type of people to me. Because before it's like, I'm telling you, one more nasty person, I swear to God.
Well, you shift the narrative. You shift the
Yes.
environment. God knows if he puts you or I or anyone who feels that way, this way, that he puts you in that environment because he knows you're gonna change it, and you're not gonna be loud about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not gonna
Nobody
be
even gotta know I did it.
yeah. It's not gonna be looking at me. It's gonna be this gentle nudge.
Yeah.
And it's gonna set certain things in motion.
Yeah, that's it.
Change the trajectory for people. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
it.
and that's
but also that's why it's important that our life be a testimony too. You know what I'm saying? Because when you got people who see your life and see what you've been through and see how you handle things, and you handle it in such a way, and you let God really handle it,
Yeah.
and you fall into the grace of it, and you continue to push and you continue to praise and worship Him, even in your toughest of times, and people know your story and stuff like that. That really helps them too. That helps people. It helps their walk. It
Mm.
helps them. That's why it's important. Like, I'm not saying, go out there and just broadcast your business to everybody,
Right.
but it's just some things that all you gotta do is just like people see you praise and worship. The same thing you do around them, you do at home. You
Yeah.
do in silent. It's not just for this ain't for show. People they recognize when it's for show and they recognize when it's
Yeah.
genuine.
Yeah. But you
Because
gotta.
like, she always like that. That's her. That's her. But
Yeah.
my thing is, but it also pushes them, and especially if somebody knows a piece of your story, they tell it to somebody like, girl, because I heard a part of her testimony. I know her story because she was da 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 da, and they like, really? And that's somebody's connecting, but and it's not because you want popularity or anything like that. It's because God is using your life to help somebody else's life, and that's what it's about. And when you stay humble in that, and you be like, okay, God, use me, for what it is that you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is you allow things to happen, but you take them all in a different way.
Mm.
You carry them in a different way. You handle them in a different way. You recognize it, for what it is. You know what I mean? You put the name on it and call it what it
And
is.
call it what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. And then you take your moment of fall, and then you shake it off quick and you get up. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
that's what it is.
Let
So when
me
you
let me
walk it in different.
Yeah, because I feel like people don't, because they either don't know enough and don't want to ask, or they know too much,
Mm-hmm.
and their pride won't let them move forward.
Yeah.
Because that's what I heard while you were saying that. Their pride.
Yeah, pride is a killer. It's connected to so many spirits, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand. Pride comes with a lot. You get a spirit of offense when you're prideful.
Mhm.
You get offended easy. You know what I mean? When you got a lot of pride inside you have a lot of problems. It's just like, you have all kinds of different stuff going on. You prideful. You connected to bondage. Like, you connected to stuff that you don't need to be connected to. Fear. Heaviness. Because that pride will get you, because you be sitting there depressed, but you won't cry out for help. You be sitting there suffering in silence. You won't seek no help. You stay bound in depression. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how pride is connected to all those different things, and that holds you down in the place of darkness. We gotta let go of pride. Pride is a killer.
Yes, it
Pride
is.
will have you in stress and stressful situations when you won't speak up for yourself and let people walk all over you, because you know what I'm saying? Like, no. We got to let go of that pride. Pride will mess you up.
Yeah.
Pride will have you pride, but you got to recognize that thing for what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna stop being prideful, because listen, I was a prideful one. Okay, I
Mm.
suffered in silence all the time. I didn't tell nobody nothing, because you know what it was, because I didn't trust people.
Right.
Too many people hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I was hurt by too many people, and I'm just like, I can't take another hurt from another person. So I used to be on high alert. So
Mm.
I love people, but at the same time, I love on you, but I only share bits and pieces.
Mhm.
Or I say, every time somebody says everything, I'm good. That was my line for everything. I'm good. I'm not telling you nothing, because I've been hurt by people who were supposed to be really about before me. Like, I was there for them and it wasn't. Those people that you thought was your friends, or who thought was your prayer partners, or people you thought that was really in your corner, and when it was your turn, it was what
Mhm.
the
Right.
what is going on, or you got people praying against you,
Yes.
making up lies about you, and you like, wow, that's crazy. And you got to see people for who they really were. So, seeing all those different things in the church and out the church. Okay, let's be real about it. I'm gonna call it what it is. It wasn't just out here people in the world. It was church folk too. So and church hurt on top of world hurt is a different type of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't trust nobody. I was like, no, I'm not sharing nothing with nobody, because I'm just like, people, every time I tell somebody something, they use it against me.
Right.
Or next, you told somebody else. And I'm just like, wow, like, I don't do stuff like that. So I didn't understand it. But that's the same time recognizing, like, I didn't recognize things for what they were, the red flags in the relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't recognize that it wasn't some of those relationships wasn't supposed to meant to be like friend type relationships. They supposed to be meant to planting moments or watering moments and keep it moving moments. You know what I'm saying? But some things you try to make situations and they shouldn't have been. So it's things in myself too, as some of these actions that I created these relationships, or I allowed them to go on so long. So I can admit my own faults in the situations, but so it made me not trust people anymore. But then, when I really started to really get in tune with God really gave me understanding. He was like, don't trust you. I can understand you have a problem with trusting people. He said, but don't not trust me. Mm. Don't not trust me. He was like, then he started talking to me and sharing things with me and saying things. And he said, how can you not trust me? Do you remember that time when da 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 da? Or da da da, he would show me stuff and he would say stuff to me. He's like, how can you not trust me? Haven't I always? And I'm just like, wow, and then he showed me at the end of the day, like, right now, all you need is me. And at the time in my life, I really did need him, and I learned how to trust him. But then he showed me how to trust the God in people.
Yes.
So that's what it was. That's what it changed. It's like, you gotta learn how to trust the God in people. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do. And if your God is stenchy and stuff funky, I'm trying to tell you something, because some of them, you a prophet liar. You are not a prophet. Don't do that to me. Don't. There's false prophets. He said it in the word. Beware of false prophets. Yes. And right now, you prophet lying. You're not prophets. You're not telling no prophecy to me. I don't do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So but you got to be aware of these things, and we got to understand, and we can't allow certain things just because people call themselves a prophet. We can't attach ourselves to that.
I was just about to say, be careful what you
attach ourselves to that. You hear the word prophet and you think, oh, it's of God. Oh, no. He's also said false prophets. Yeah. So he let you know there's two kinds, there's two types. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, he don't put nothing in the word for nothing. He put it in there to protect us. It was for protection. Protection. Everything God put in the Bible is for our understanding, but for our protection. Yeah. And then I need you to put this in. I put on the daily armor of God, because you don't wrestle against flesh and blood, sis. Right. You wrestle against stuff you can't see.
Principality. Yeah.
I'm trying to let you know, you wrestle against principalities and rulers of dark places. I need you to protect yourself. Yes. Your flesh ain't gonna do it. Your flesh is gonna connect to the things of the dark world and gonna have you doing some stuff you ain't got no business. Sis, I'm trying to protect you. Put on the full armor. The helmet is not gonna protect you for your heart. Yeah. Put on the full armor of me. You understand? And then pray. This is what he's telling us, that for our protection, because he already knew without that armor, our flesh was going to take it in. Our flesh was going to accept whatever fiery dart they come at us. You know what I'm saying? The seeds were going to get planted in our mind. We was going to believe we was less than nothing. We wasn't smart enough. We wasn't good enough. We're not pretty enough. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got people who got all these eating disorders, all these, I'm too big, I'm too small. They don't, because my helmet is not on. Yeah. So my mind is not protected. I'm believing the lies that are being tossed at me and trash. That you ain't never gonna be nothing. You ain't nothing. Like all these lies. You believe that because I'm trying to protect you. Put the breastplate on. I need to protect your heart. Yeah. But we don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't listen to those kind of things. And we don't understand. We think it's like, I'm not doing that. Or that's just ridiculous. Principalities. Listen, he ain't telling you that for nothing. Listen.
Listen.
You can't see this, sis. I'll protect you from the things you can see and from the things you can't see.
Yeah, like my brother says, there's some real goons and goblins out here. Like,
you better come on. Yes. You better come on with it. This is not a game. He didn't put that in the Bible just for it to be a bedtime story. No, sis, this is life. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is what I need you to do. Yeah. Put this to practice, because your flesh is going to, that's what it's looking for, your flesh. Yeah. I need you to protect your flesh as well as protecting your mind and your spirit and your heart. And
right. We're going to take a small break. We'll be right back.
No. You were the last talking, but I was just saying, because we're really getting into exposing the demons and the devils that are really out there in the world, that here comes the glitch. Because it wants, it wants to halt and stop it so that it doesn't flow as, the way it's supposed to flow. But, the devil is a liar. We're going to call a spade. I know that's right. We're going to call a spade. There's some real demons out there. There's some real spiritual battles and witches out there that are practicing.
All out there.
Yes.
Hard. Practicing real hard.
Yes. And they want to see you destroyed. You know what I mean? We got to be careful where our feet walk. We got to be careful the information we take in, because sometimes we take in too much information and our minds weren't meant to handle that.
Yeah. And it's just certain things, like we got to know, you certain things you can't put yourself around, and certain things, you can't, partake of and so that. And you know, when people don't understand, you know, certain, or you know, why the whys and don'ts of what you do, but you know, you got to really protect your mindset. You got to protect your spirit. And when you really have a relationship with God and you know those things and you recognize those things, you know what it is. And it's so funny because every time, you know how you on the boardwalk and those fortune tellers be outside. Mm-hmm. This is the God honest truth. I swear, they don't mess with me.
Nope.
They just look at me. And I laugh, and I, because at one time I thought I was bugging, like but they look at me and they do this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They look at me and they always do this, and I'm like, yo, I thought I was bugging. So I was like, let me see. So you know, I'm on the boardwalk, I'm steady walking, and as we walking, there was like 3 more, and every one of them did the same exact thing. They looked at me. I was like, we got eye contact for some reason. We get the eye contact, and that's, you know, they do this, and I was like, yo, y'all see, y'all, because y'all already know what it is.
You already know what it is. Right.
You already know what it is. The God in me will, what?
You already know.
I already know
what it is. Yeah.
Don't come over this way.
That's right. The protection. That's the protection.
Yeah. Yes. And they already know, like, okay, that's not a person. Not you know who my daddy is. You already see it, sis. You better fall back. Don't mess with nobody that's walking with me. You understand what I'm saying? They already know.
And I'm only looking at you because you already listen. That's that and you, but you have to pray the prayer of protection. That's what maybe you got to pray, and that's effective communication. You gotta know. Without a shadow of a doubt, I serve God and God only. I'm not dabbling. I don't care. I know. Okay, I don't want to talk about myself. I know I'm not dabbling because I know what could go down. You understand what I'm saying? I see the turmoil. I see it. I see. No, I don't want to put myself in that.
And you know what it is? I'm telling you. I remember a long time ago. I was like I went with this young girl. She was really, really hurting. She was really, really hurting, really, really bad. And you know, this boy broke her heart and stuff like that. And I kept, you know, talking to her, and trying to tell her all this different stuff. And she, no matter what I told her, she just wouldn't believe it. And I just kept trying to talk to her. And you know, I used to work with her, and I just took her on. She was like a daughter to me for a minute. So I told her something. We went to Philadelphia. She asked me, she begged me, she wanted to go see this psychic. And she was like, "Can you?" I was like, I don't believe in that. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe in that. I don't do that. And she kept saying, "Please come with me." And I was like, "I can't. I don't believe that." And she just kept begging, "Please, please, please. I need to know." Blah, blah, blah. So I sat there and I prayed and I said, "God, please protect her." Mm-hmm. And I promise you, God told me, He said, "Go with her." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "What?" But I was going for her protection. Mm-hmm. It wasn't for nothing else. And you know, we on the ride up to we went to Philadelphia, and I rode with her. I'm sitting in the car, I'm talking to her, and I'm just telling her all stuff. And I kept saying, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I'm telling her all these different things and telling her different things. And she listening, she crying in the car. So we get to this person. This person's gonna be really, really good. You want to know the craziest thing is everything I told her in the car, he told her. Uh-huh. And then here's the best part. So she crying. He said to her, his exact words, I kid you not, I was in the living room. He stayed at like a distance, and I was in the living room. They was in the other area, but I could hear. Mm-hmm. And he said to her, he said, "Why did you come here?" She said, "Because," and he said, no. He was like, "Why did you come here when you already have a person like me in the living room?" Mm-hmm. And I said, she was like, no. This is what she said. She goes, "No, she's not a psychic." She was like, "She's not a psychic at all." And he's like, "No, she a person like me." She goes, "No, she's a Christian." That's what she told me.
She needs to get out of my house.
She said something like that. But she was like, and then and we got out, she said, so I said, "Everything I told you in the car, he told you." She said, "Yeah, and that's why I couldn't stop crying. Everything." And then she was just like, and I said, "And you just paid $300 for that."
That's what I'm saying.
You got it for free.
Sis, that's the part that I don't like. You don't have to pay for it.
No, that's what I told her. I said, "You paid $300 for something that God gave to you for free." I told her that. Right. I said, it was given to you for free. Yes. And mind you, we had another person in the car with us, and she was blown away. She was blown away because she sat there and she heard everything, and she was like, all she kept doing was hit my leg. "Yo, you said that. You said that. You said that."
because it was meant to show her, don't even do it, because you can get
Yeah.
it for free.
Yeah.
You
And
can
so
get
when I
it
was
for
talking to
free.
her, I had to let her know, I said, you got to stop recognizing us. I said, God is God. You don't need to go to no psychics or nobody or nothing like that. I said, God is God. I said, and even when you don't have a relationship, he'll connect you with people who will tell you something so he can get your attention and talk to you.
Right.
And I said, I said, that's what this was, this is what this is about. That's what this is about. I love you, and I just want the best for you. I don't want to see you hurting, but you were so hurt and you was determined to come here. You was determined to come here. But even in coming here, you know what I'm saying? God told you everything you needed to know before you even got here.
Right.
But
Right.
the
You
thing is,
already knew it, right?
but
But you
because you don't know him,
right.
you didn't see it that way.
Right. Right. But that's the thing. We
I
always,
told her.
yeah, we get the word, we get the revelation, we get all that through God's vessels all the time. But because we know them, we know their story, you know their background. You know what I mean? We know them on a personal level. We're like, what they know, they just saying that. So let me pay all this money to go to this person, or let me, you know what I mean? Because they don't know me, so they'll really hear it from somewhere.
But that's that too. But and at the same time, it's just like that's crazy. You won't believe in God, but you believe in a gimmick and you'll pay for it.
Pay for it.
Well, he's saying you could come to me freely. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So you could come to me freely.
Right.
But instead of you wanting to believe in me because you make it like you seem like because everybody look, I'm hard work or I'm not real.
Right.
Everybody tries to discredit me.
Right.
Everybody, that's what God said. Everybody tries to discredit
exactly,
me.
because he
And all
literally
I
said to
do
me,
is
because
show
they
up
don't
in
want to
your
work
life
for
or
it.
put somebody in your life to show you that I'm real every type of way. But you still discredit me and go pay somebody?
Yeah, because they don't want to work for it.
And even though you don't know me, I know you because I created you and I'm loving you enough to come show you, to give you a visit.
Right, because I just want to hear it. I just want it to be poured into my ear. You know what I mean? I just want to be bottle fed. I just want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to work for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to put the work in it. So I'm going to go over here
work
and
into it though. But I promise you, putting the work in is what feels so good. It's so satisfying when you put the work in. It's so happy when it's so light when you put the work in. I know it may look like it's not, but if you feel good because you know that you're not putting the work in for you putting the work in for somebody else to get this feeling you got. You know what I'm saying? To be awakened, to feel alive, to feel loved, to feel free, to feel, to feel genuine and to feel in a place, to feel at peace. You know what I mean? Even on your bad days, because we're gonna have up and down days. We're human. You know what I'm saying? But even on your low days, you know how to get up out of that. You know how to get up out of that quickly because your relationship is different. You see it differently, and you will no longer be back in that place more because you know who God is and you know how good he is. And like, God, you brought me too far to even go back to that little place. I wish I would. I wish I would go dry, and when you are well, I can't. That never runs dry. Right. I wish I would say I ain't thirsty. I'm gonna just keep on drinking to you. Right. I'll never be thirsty. Right. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying. Listen, we said if you knew who I was, you'd be asking me for a drink. Yeah, I love that line in the Bible. I know people be like, you think about it, like that's a good line.
Yeah, he was listen. He was direct.
Listen, to come at you like that, you look at him like she's like, don't you know? Listen, if you knew who I was, you'd be asking me, can I get a drink? Like, people don't know. It's like you see that nerdy person in the bar, like you think he don't fit in, and you see the ball in the bar, and everybody trying to go over there to the ball because he looked good, or it looked, but he ain't no good at all. He ain't no good at all. But you want him to buy you a drink. But that dude over there that you counting out, if you knew who he really was,
yes, you would.
That right there, he a billionaire. You just don't even know it because he humble with his. You know what I'm saying? You know that's who you be at. See, that's how you got to put it in people's mindset because they want to be in that. You got to put it in a natural for them to understand. But the reality is, at the end of the day, is if you, like you said, if you knew who I was,
listen,
you wouldn't be ignored. You would ask me. You know what I'm saying? You would be like, "Oh God, my God, I'm in the presence of." You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus, like I feel so humble. I feel so excited and I feel so loved just to be in your presence.
Oh yeah.
The fact that you're taking a moment to talk to me,
Right.
Oh my God, like it's Jesus. You know, like I guess that's people how would feel when people how would feel they if they met Beyonce. Like, oh my God, Beyonce,
Right.
she stopped and she talking to me.
You talking to me,
You know,
right?
that's how you know how people might feel when they met they you know they're somebody that they really love, a star or something like that. But this is Jesus, girl. He the ultimate star.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He the
Waymaker.
most popular,
Yes.
most
Yes.
famous pocket. He got listen, he got anything bigger than the star on the Walk of Fame. Listen,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
This right here, this who you want to be in the presence of. Because
Yes.
he do something great. You know what I'm saying? And with it comes freedom, it comes liberty, it comes liberation, it comes understanding, it comes healing, it comes freedom, it comes, you know, deliverance, it comes salvation, it comes breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? It comes breakouts, it comes termination of things that should have been fired and ejected long time ago. You know what I'm saying? You start
Yes.
to recognize protection and no longer rejection.
Yes.
You see for what it really is, and you understand for who he really is in your life. This ain't no ordinary love, as
No, it's
Sade
not.
said. You understand what I'm saying? Come on. This is what he's saying right here. Listen, this is who you want to be around. This is who you want to love and want to love on you. And then when he come in the natural, you be like, my God, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Or when she come in the natural for that man, my God, thank Lord, you doing something because it's just that because he loves you that much.
When the blessing manifests, yes. Yes.
And it's just like the things that you prayed for years ago, but you wasn't ready for.
Right. There.
Now that you're ready for him, he could be like, you know, let the blessings begin.
Yes, and enjoy the blessing.
Fall, you know what I'm saying? Let them meet. Let that opportunity happen. You know what I'm saying?
And then when it
let
does,
that connection be met. You know, whether it be for a job, it could be for that break you looking for.
Yes.
Now it can happen. Now it can look. Let it go. Oh, you've been waiting for this breakthrough so you can get this house. Now it can happen. You wanted to go get that degree. Now it can happen because now you at that place. You understand? Now the blessings can start manifesting itself. The stuff that you've been asking for, you ready for it now. You wasn't ready before, but now because you putting the work in. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Listen. It's a lot of work to do. There's not not enough workers to do it.
Not enough workers.
When you get there, start working, and you become that worker, and you start working. Listen, the work is there.
Right. That just took on a whole new form for me because there's a lot of work, but not enough workers. There's so many of us that need to be working on ourselves.
Yeah.
So many of us who aren't.
No. It's very true. And we need to be working on ourselves so God can use us to help somebody get worked on. That's the reality. You know what I'm saying? God is working on us. It's like we're working on ourselves, but we're not working on ourselves without God. God is truly working on us. He's doing something, but we're putting it to practice every day. I want to be worked on. Okay, this is the kind of work I want done on me. Okay, don't tell me talk too, but this right here is what I really want done.
This is your body. Do what you need.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Listen. I love my little fupa, but it's just like, listen. But I'm telling you, it's just like right here. It's just like this is the work you want.
Right.
This is what you want. You want God to no longer give you a heart of stone, but a heart of flesh. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You want God to, your heart is no longer hardened, but it's beaten. You know what I'm saying? It's blood running through it. It's a pulsating feeling. It's a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? That you alive again. That's the thing. And then you can love again and be loved, and you can love others. Like that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So, and it needs to be flesh so those things can take place. Yeah. So you gotta understand something. When God wants to do something, because he loves us so much, he really does. Yes, he really is a God of love, and that's what it's about. And that's what he say: love your neighbor as yourself. And then that's when and then that's when, like I told you, that took on a new form for me. I was like, dang, or love your enemy as yourself. That's even harder. So that means so I gotta love them like I love me. But here's the problem: a lot of us don't love us. Yeah. We don't know how to love ourselves. So you want me to love my neighbor as myself. I can't. I don't know my neighbors, or I'm mean to my neighbors, or my neighbors don't speak to me. So just because they don't speak, you can still say good morning. So my thing is like, when you get up in the morning, you say good morning. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at me and say good morning. I say good morning to you. I make it possible for you to say good morning. So tell your neighbor good morning. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. I'm making it possible for you. Right. So I need you to do this thing. Right. Hey, a good morning is not gonna hurt nobody. Right. If anything, it can help somebody. Right. But you gotta love you and know. You know what I'm saying? Even a little smile, like instead of walking around looking all grumpy all the time. Right. I remember this way. Turn that frown upside down. And it's just
Yeah.
like, but it's the truth.
A
Like,
little bit
and it's
goes a
like,
long way. Yeah.
yeah. And and if people I laugh and be like, yeah, I gotta go get work done to get some Botox done to get rid of these frown lines and these crow's feet. Well, if you wasn't always so frowned up all the time, you wouldn't have those. You can save yourself a whole lot of money. Stop letting your face be so tight. Smile a little bit.
Smile a bit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Save yourself some money and smile.
Right.
Use your own
Practice.
medicine.
Right.
Put it into
Practice.
practice.
What? Well, yeah. Practice smiling. Yes.
Yes. Put it into practice.
Yes.
Those crow's feet you got because you always squinted up all tight. Girl, release your eyes. Release your eyes.
Yeah, breathe. Breathe. Yeah.
Oh, look, it's so tight. You wasting unnecessary money. Now your face frozen for a couple of days. You can't do nothing. It's like, come on. We gotta be smart. Listen, a smile will help you. A smile will go a long way. You know what I'm saying? A smile will be a blessing for you to look in the mirror and smile at yourself sometimes.
Yes, that's how you learn to love yourself. Yes.
Yes, smile at yourself.
Yeah, that's how
laugh
you
at
learn to love
yourself.
yourself.
It's okay to laugh at yourself. Don't be embarrassed. Laugh at yourself. It's
Yes.
okay. Even in my dumb moments, I've learned to laugh at myself. Like, girl, you know that was straight dumb.
Yes. Like, why you do that? Yes. Yes.
That's how I talk to me.
That comes in being real with who you are. That comes in with accepting this is me.
Yes.
And be okay with that and not try to be something that you're not. Just because you think that that's what people expect of you or what you think you expect of you. Because the picture that you're looking at may not necessarily be all that it is.
Yeah. That's true. Very, very true.
That's saying the grass is greener on the other side, but that's only because they tend to it. Or the grass may look greener, but it may be astroturf. It may not be real.
Or just dried up hay. Just dead hay.
Yes.
Scattered.
You getting cut in the process because you want to go frolic in it.
Yeah. That's your business. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the choice. But I'm gonna stay right over here where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
It's just like, it's just like the process. Listen, the process is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not an easy process, but the more you practice the process, it becomes easier and easier. And next it becomes a daily part of who you are. Yeah. Like, you don't feel right if you're not practicing it. You know what I'm saying? You feel off when you don't put it into practice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it becomes a part of who you are. It's not a routine for you. It's a part of your life. It's a part of your living. It's a part of how you make life better for you because you put those things into practice. You put the love, genuine love, the empathy, you put prayer into practice. You put
prayer.
You put praise into practice, taking more time to read your word and get an understanding of your word into practice. So you put all those things into practice, and it makes you to strive to be a better you. And then your relationship with God grows more and more. And he continues to do more and more in you and break more and more off of you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And as he's doing that, he's growing you in such a way and stretching you in such a way. It's such an amazing thing. And then like I said, when people get to see the transformation of yourself and they see that you really are this person of God, and that, or they see what God has really done in your life and for your life, you can't help but want to serve God. That's how you bring people to God, by living this thing, living it genuinely, living it in love, living it in truth, being that speaker, being that forerunner for God, doing those things that's how you, but being your natural self and not lying to the people, but telling the people the truth.
Yeah.
Saying, teaching them about the relationship with God and telling them it ain't easy.
That's right.
It ain't an easy walk.
That's right.
It hurts sometimes. Yes. Sometimes you want to kick it quicker, throw in the towel. Sometimes you want to quit. Yes. Sometimes you want to go on a vacation and don't be found. Sometimes you don't want to pass no more. Sometimes you don't want to preach no more. Sometimes you don't want to teach no more. But then you remember that it's not about you.
Yes.
I recognize that God has done too much for me to not do what I'm supposed to do for somebody else.
Yes.
You remember, but we have our moments where we're human.
That's right.
Just because you're in a leadership role don't mean that you don't want to stop sometimes.
Right. That's right. That's right. It gets tough. It's challenging.
It don't get, you know what I'm saying? It don't mean that sometimes shots ain't fired at you. Like, people fire at you, people fire at me too. Right. And they fire at me even more, especially when you're in the limelight or they think you're doing something.
Yep.
They're going to fire even more darts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because more people see you, so more darts are shot. They're fired at you. But it's how you handle the darts that are fired at you. It's how you deal with it. It's either you going to do it in your flesh or you going to let God hold still and let the door fight your battle. Yeah. Speak when God tell you to speak. Sometimes you got to say,
armor on. Yeah.
God tell you, but the character of who you are and who God is in you, it'll speak for itself. You ain't got to say nothing.
Yes.
And then my thing is, you got other people speaking up for you. That's when you know that's part of that transformation of God. That's because of that daily practice. That's
Mm-hmm.
because of being that genuine person and that person that's not afraid to talk to somebody else, not to share your life, not to pretend that it's something that is not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to tell your truth. It's okay to
Yeah.
tell your story and not be ashamed or embarrassed of it. We don't go through things for to be embarrassed. We go through some things so we could be humbled.
Yep.
We go through some things so we can be broken to be rebuilt. You know, we go through some things to learn. We go through some
Yeah.
things to teach. We go through some things to grow.
Yeah.
We go through some things to recognize what we didn't recognize before. You know what I'm saying? You know, is when we look at when you look at it in a different way, it's you see things in a different way, but then you handle life so differently.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about it. And that's what's so important. That's why it's so important. You know, it's important to have a relationship with God and get to that place because the transition is amazing. The transformation is beautiful. And you know, I've watched so many different women and men in my life, especially young people. We went to church. You've seen them, just the transformation of them. You know, and I want that to continue. You've seen them get married. We've seen some people get married. We've seen different things in their natural life. I want the natural and their spiritual to connect
Yeah. Yeah.
so they can be the fullness of what God has shown me. You know what I'm saying? You know, for some people that I'm close to and I've seen how God does do things for, and the things that He's shown me that I can't even share with people about them yet because they're not ready for it yet.
Yeah. Right.
I pray for them. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because I can't wait for God to do that thing, and I can't wait for them to walk in that thing and accept that thing and get to that place. And I understand and recognize I used to be them
Yeah.
a season of their life. And now I'm somebody that I used to look to, or you know what I'm saying, when they was
Look
at their
forward.
season of my
Mm-hmm.
life. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So there's always somebody behind me, or there's somebody ahead of me, or
Right.
somebody right here with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's different seasons in life. And you might have been there, you might be there, or you're gonna be going there.
That's right.
You
That's right.
understand?
That's right.
So it's like those different seasons in life, but even in every different season, you don't never be jealous, you don't never be spiteful, you don't ever be not unmerciful. You be loving and always be praying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. And knowing that, and remember that you used to be there, and to God be the glory. God already show you what he doing right here, and what he about to do over there. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah.
it's about.
Yeah.
And but you always be in that place of praying when God is doing something, and you respect every treasure.
Yeah.
You know everything that God gives you. Your ministry is a treasure.
Yeah.
You know every gift that God has given you is a treasure. Is a treasure to protect. Is a treasure to grow. It's a treasure to invest in, but it's a treasure to be used as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we gotta use what we've been given by God for good. We got to really walk in the things that God wants us to do and put it into practice because it really does help somebody else get to see what love is and to how to love and how to let go, how to be free, how
Yeah.
to know what's a trigger and what to let go and be healed from so God can take them to another level in them and in Him.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that happens, it trickles down and it manifests into your natural life. It just gets gooder and gooder. Those are my words. It just gets
I
gooder and
know.
gooder. And I tell everybody that all the time. And gooder and gooder tastes much better than bitter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's much better than bitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tastes much better than broken.
Amen.
So you just gotta recognize and recognize and realize that you are worthy of the gooder.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, oh, we ain't even worthy of that. If
Yes.
God didn't, if He didn't think that we were,
Yeah.
in certain, I just feel like if He didn't think it, He would have gave up on us a long time
That's
ago.
right.
He wants us to know. He would have been like I wash my hands of this. She hard headed. She's stubborn. I'm over it.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
on to the next one. But He's the God that He loves us through it, and He's sovereign.
Amen.
He got mercy and grace for us daily, and He still allow us to be here.
Yeah.
You woke up this morning because He loved you enough because He still wants you to be here
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to do your work, to get your message across, to do the work that He's calling you, and every day that you operate it, He's just going to continue to grow it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the great thing about it. That's the blessing that you're walking in the obedience of it. Like I said, I talk about those young people in church, but you one of those people. Just seeing how you walking in it and you doing it God's way and how you just being freed up. It's a beautiful thing to watch. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing to see, and it makes me happy.
Amen.
Because it's like, okay, Lord, when people don't think you got something, or they think they know about, they know your, like I said, they know your life,
right,
but all they really know is your name.
right, right. And I say that I've said that for many, many years. You know what I mean? If you want to know my story, you just ask. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell
it.
you. You know what I mean? Because I don't mind sharing what I've been through, because I
Yeah,
know how far God has brought me, and I'm
you better say
thankful.
that.
Yeah,
Say
I'm
that.
thankful because the
Yes.
thing I was in was not, it wasn't me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah, of course I could do it. Who can't? Who
Yeah.
can't? But it wasn't how I was built. And
Yeah.
I'm honoring how God built me. I'm
Hmm.
honoring the creation that He made, my
Yeah.
identity. This is
That's it.
who I am in Him. This is who I want to be.
Yeah, that's it right there. This is who you want to be
This
in
is,
him,
yeah,
and
it's
this
who
is
I
who
want to show up
you
as.
want him to be you at. It's to be your natural self. Yeah, healing daily. You healing daily. You healing daily. Your healing daily self.
Yes,
Yeah, walking in truth self every day.
yes,
Walking in love self every day. It's flaws and all. Is what I'm saying. This
yes,
is what was it? Mary said, "Take me as I am." You know what I'm saying? But
yes.
I'm talking about in the God way. I'm not gonna try to. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be who you think I should be.
Right,
I'm gonna be who God created me and called me to be.
right,
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna talk the way you think I should talk.
right,
I'm gonna talk the way God give it to me.
right,
That's it. I'm tired of, like, I'm not doing. I'm not a puppet for people. I'm a
right,
servant of God.
right,
And there's a difference. You understand what I'm saying?
right,
And that's what I had to learn.
right,
I had to learn. I had to learn because I was so busy always trying to please people.
right.
And so I became a puppet for the
And
people.
and that that's the part that we all have to learn. We're not here to please people.
No, I'm just here to do a work.
Just here to do a work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
here to
and,
do a
and, if,
work.
and if doing that work is going to help some people,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Then I'm
right,
gonna do the work.
right.
That's
I'm
it.
here to
I'm not
help.
here to.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
here to
that's it.
serve.
I'm here to help the people,
Yeah,
not pacify the
right,
people. I'm
right,
here to help the people, not enable the people. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I'm here to help the people, and it was just like there was people that was here before me to help that
I'm,
helped me, and it's still helping me. You
yes,
know what I'm saying?
I
It's a
was just about to
continued
say that
cycle.
because I was
It's a
there.
continued
Yes,
cycle.
yeah,
There was helpers before me.
yeah,
There was helpers before them. There's gonna be helpers after. I became a helper, and I recognized that I was created to be a helper. And after me, there's gonna be some helpers. And what I'm trying to do is show my kids and my grandkids how to be those helpers. You
yep,
understand what I'm saying? That's what it all boils down to. If I'm a genuine helper, and they can see how God is moving and what God is doing in my life, then they're gonna desire to be helpers too. And
amen,
in my story, my grandchildren. And then as the story continues, they're gonna always talk about that. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be brought up in some way. There's always gonna be those family stories where they'll tell you, listen, that Mima wasn't no joke when it came to God.
right.
And God wasn't no joke when it came to Mima. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what
And
it is.
then
We
that'll
was
be that's them protecting their treasure.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
what
That's
it
how
is.
we honor.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
yeah,
That's how you do it. But you get that place of honor. It's never too late to mend broken relationships with your family.
yeah,
Let God be in it and let God do the healing. Don't try to do it yourself. If God tell you to apologize and you sitting there, I don't know why I'm saying this, but if He tell you to apologize, and even if you feel like you ain't doing it wrong, apologize. He needs a step to be made.
yeah.
And it needs to be made with you. I always got to be the one to apologize. I know. Go do it again.
Right, right.
And you might always be the one.
That's right. That's right.
And
But
you may not. But
right,
right now, today, I need you to be the one. Okay? And I'm like, okay, God, I get it. Like sometimes me and God kind of talk like that.
I know.
I don't know how you do, y'all, but sometimes people like, now go do it again.
Right, right.
Okay?
And
But I'm
again,
tired of being that one. Okay.
yep.
And then you can say something to me like, okay. And I was tired, but I waited for you. I
Yeah,
was tired, but I forgave you.
yeah.
I was tired, but I didn't give up on you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I still love you. In my tiredness, when you gonna get it right?
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, sometimes that's how He talked to me to remind me, not to, in a bad way, but He reminds me, like, listen, I did it for you.
Yeah.
I need
Don't
you to go
forget.
do it for
Yeah.
somebody else.
Don't forget.
It's
Yep.
bigger than you.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? But He got to say it to me in a stern way, like, girl, oh, so you want me to get grimy with you right now because this is how you acting.
Right.
He gotta get that with me.
Effective
Sometimes I can be stubborn.
effective communication. I mean,
Yes. And
Yes.
that's how and that's what it is. And when he talked to me like that, sometimes it is effective communication. And it's effective when he's telling me something, and I'm like, and I ain't got no choice but to do it because I'm like, you came down to that level with this
Right.
conversation. Okay, you serious? All right,
Right.
let me go do it.
So give me a scripture because we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna wrap it up. Give me a scripture that God gave you when to protect your treasure. Your scripture for right now.
For right now.
Yeah, because you're in your season. You're protect your treasure. So what's your scripture? What's the one? Mine is mine. Go ahead. You ready or no?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So mine right now is I present my body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Yeah, that's for this
Right
season.
there.
Yeah.
Be transformed by the renewing of your
Renewing of
mind.
your mind.
And I do it every day. That right there, that's what it is for me every day. I transform the renewing of my mind every day. And by me doing that, my kids are seeing it. So it's protecting my treasure, my body, everything, myself, my sanity, my peace, my walk with God, my relationship with God. So that part right there, I say that every day. You as we were talking, that's all I've been saying about just transferring renewing your mind. I'm always telling everybody, change your trajectory, because that's what it is for me. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's why, and I know part of being a freedom fighter, that's the most important thing. You got to get that across. And that's the scripture that I stand on. Being transformed by the renewing of your mind. I told you he gave us a love of a sound mind. You know what I'm saying? Love and a sound mind. And if we don't protect our mind, you understand what I'm saying? We got to protect this thing. You be renewed by renewing it daily, renewing the lie, renewing what was said to me, and telling the truth to the lie. You know what I'm saying? You got to slay what was slaying you. That's it. That's how you transform your mind. Renew it.
You've been listening to Fridays with Ty on Shift the Narrative podcast. Listen, I pray one day you'll see the need to shift the narrative in your mind. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. Because you are worth it. I am thankful and grateful for each and every one of you that has joined us today and every day. As always, I'm your host and fellow freedom fighter, Tyria. We will see you again, and thanks for listening to Fridays with Ty on Shift the Narrative podcast. Be free, y'all. Be free.